This valley is where it is prophesied that the world will end.
Right.
It will end with the return of the blue star Kachina appearing on top of Blanca Peak. And what is going to precede that is 2 days before, two people known as the Paasatuungwa, a masculine by the name of Sunfire and a feminine by the name of Moonwater, are going to create a double spiral. They paint with tools that use sunfire in their hands, and when they move together, they will be moving in the 6th direction, but the 7th is within them. And within 6 dawns, the blue star Kachina will appear, and their light will be the light of the new world.
Wow, that sounds like my twin flame journey.
Bro, that sounds like a good day.
It's Schneblyville Pirate Radio. Hear them radio waves aglow. Yo ho, yo ho, yo ho, yo ho. It's Schneblyville Pirate Radio.
Mike, testing 1.
Mic test 1 2.
Mic test 1 2 3. Welcome to KGNU, the 420.
420, blaze it.
So today we have TJ and Spencer from Babylon to join us, and
Babylon with the bomber clots on, man.
we're going to talk about, TJ's light painting. We're going to talk about, Spencer's day, how his day is going. Whatever these cats got cooking, they're going to let you know.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's really a pleasure to do this with you fellas.
Right? Yeah, we've known each other for a little while. We've been like, I don't know, Boulder, hanging out in Boulder and stuff, ecstatic dance and stuff. And I don't even know when I first met you, TJ. It was like,
God, there's some random thing in Crestone I would have had to been.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, you do the light painting thing, and like you did some like light painting stuff here, like at these train cars. We got like some really cool shots, and I don't know, maybe you start with that, just like the light painting thing. Like it's you're not like the first person to do it, you're not gonna be the last person to do it, but it's a very unique art form, and like I don't know, it makes really cool looking images.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty rare art form as far as my knowledge. I want to say that officially there are less than 20,000 people doing this worldwide, but is basically a form of long exposure photography where you're collecting light trails and you're making designs with it. So I can use flashlights and different pieces of equipment to create patterns, textures, flow, this and that. And I'm literally painting with light, putting color into a scene where there's otherwise darkness.
And then this is like something that's been supporting you, right? Because you're like living out of your car right now. You're like able to like make it work somehow, like
Somehow.
with this, light painting.
Somehow, some way, it's just like, and as far as the nomad thing, I've chosen to do this because I've been in Colorado for 7 years now, and it's like I've accomplished so much. I've been pretty much vended, set up my photo booth at every single major venue in Denver. I've shot at almost every single concert hall. I've been to pretty much any random place within the Front Range you can think of. I've set up, I've done art, I've done photos there. And so now my intentions as far as next year are to take my stuff on the road, and we're going to be hitting up the West.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of cold, so maybe that'll be a little better for the temps too.
Yeah, head south.
Where south?
Starting with New Mexico.
Okay.
Melanie.
Oh, yeah, she lives out there.
Yeah, she lives in Taos, and we're talking about collaborating on some plexiglass frames with LEDs. I'm also shooting a series based on Breaking Bad out there, and she's potentially arranged some guy to be Walter White for us already.
Wait, you're doing your own spin-off of Breaking Bad?
Just photo series.
Oh, okay.
But we're going to be going to the places that they shot the stuff because that show was so monumental as far as my eye for photography, composition. And so I owe it to myself, and that's going to be the first leg of the trip.
Yeah, Melanie was one of the first, pirates out here in Schneblyville.
Yeah.
She's like another one of the founders of Schneblyville, so shout out Melanie. Yeah, right on, man. And then Spencer's here too. So Spencer's like been my friend for like, I don't know, it feels like aeons or eons, I'm not sure which, but we met at Ecstatic Dance, and yeah, we like, I don't know. What would you say?
Yeah, we met through like an ecstatic dance in Boulder, and I saw Chris. He had like
was like kind of dancing with his head down, and he was just like chuckling and stuff. And I'm like, who's this weirdo? Like, he's just like, I'm like kind of new to ecstatic dance at the time. And, you know, I was like trying to there to make friends and stuff and, you know, dance with some like kind of like-minded people.
Did you say I look like a silly monster or something?
Yeah. I was like, who's this like silly monster? Like, he's just like laughing by himself. I'm like, oh yeah, like I can kind of relate.
I mean, it's a superpower, man. Just entertain yourself. Don't need nobody. Like,
Yeah, that's all it really is. Yeah, like if you can make yourself laugh, like you're gonna have a good time. Like,
yeah. I mean, even like, you know, I throw solo ragers, you know, like in my space, like I'll just like put on a bunch of cool, like, you know, party lights, and I'll put on some awesome music. And like, I mean, it's like a whole community event, but it's just me, you know, it's like, yeah, it's a lot of fun. So, I mean, one thing I'm curious about, and both of you can speak to this if you want, the paranormal.
Oh,
So TJ was talking about some very, you know, out there sort of paranormal experience. I mean, this valley, San Luis Valley, is known for like paranormal activity. There's a book someone wrote called The Mysterious Valley, which I want to check out because it's got a lot of those stories. But like, I don't know, TJ, like what's, you know, share some of this paranormal activity.
oh man, like, so the San Luis Valley is known as being the UFO hotspot in the Western Hemisphere. There's more unusual things sighted in the skies than anywhere else in America. And it's interesting because you tie that into a lot of the native lore, right? The native lore says that the world ended here. The last world ended, which was the third world. And then this is the place where people emerged after that cataclysm. And they called it Sipapu, which is at where San Luis Lake State Park is by the sand dunes. And they said that this place is not just the place of emergence into the new world, but it is the portal from which all star people emerge into our reality from.
So they show up here from like another dimension or something?
Something like that. You know, like there are stories about that. And then you have the whole Eisenhower Treaty that they discuss about with the gray aliens. And they say that part of that was the allowment of them to establish a base inside of Mount Blanca. You know, that's, I can't say I know too much about other than that's what's been discussed. There have been unusual things sighted there, such as caves with jewels that hikers will go up to Blanca Peak and see. And they're just like, oh my God, like there's all these rare minerals and jewels and gold and things. And they go up, you know, with the crew later to haul the stuff back and the caves disappeared. So it's like, what's going on here? There is something very, very, very deep going on. And I have my own personal experiences too.
Like what? I mean, I remember talking about like giant light beings or something that you saw.
Oh yeah. It's like, so my big encounter happened July the 1st, 2023. I was visiting here, and just for the record, everyone, the most mind altered I was when I had just smoked some mad dabs with Dewey earlier that day, right? So this was June 30th going into July the 1st. I took photos of my buddy Wes and his band Horsetooth out at T-Road Bar. It was the last night of Pride Month. They were dressed down in all these disco rainbow colored jackets and stuff, you know, just throwing down. And they finished up about 10 o'clock and I just felt this really strong pull to go out and do some photos at the sand dunes. So I go there, do some photos, and then I have to be back in Boulder the next day for a Canada Day party, which is at noon. So I'm like, well, I'll drive back. It's about, say, 1 o'clock. Get there about 4. I get full 8 hours sleep in. My friend's house just down the street. I'm always about that 8 hours of sleep. You got it.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, you got to get that beauty sleep.
Dude, Spencer's about that 10, 11, 12 hours of sleep. I mean,
Oh, man.
I like the 8 to 10 range.
yeah, that's
Yeah, Spencer, it's nothing short of a miracle. You actually woke up for this.
we had to wake him up. Yeah.
Yeah, I got woken up. Yeah, I was sleeping. It was nice sleeping.
Yeah, he's still dreaming.
So anyway,
I'm still dreaming.
so I was going north from the sand dunes, right? And there's all these jackrabbits in the road, which, you know, jackrabbits aren't uncommon, but they were acting a little off. It was like they were almost just like staring and just very weird kind of suspended animation. I'm in my little red Prius at the time. As like the bunnies were hopping out of the way literally at the last second, just like right about as I was about to run over. And I was like, what the hell is wrong with these rabbits? I mean, there are hundreds of, like, for at least a solid 3.5, 4 miles, just hundreds of jackrabbits in the road. You're right.
Yeah, right.
And I'm just driving north and I see these lights there and I'm just like, oh, there's a car coming, you know, no big deal. And I keep driving a bit more and I see ahead of me where what I'm thinking is a car. I see these red lights split into two balls. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Because in my mind, I'm just like, this must be like one of those new electric vehicles or whatever, because it kind of has sort of that retro futuristic sort of vibe look to it. And I was like, huh, that's different, you know? And I keep on driving and I don't realize until the last moment that I'm thinking I'm looking at something much further away that's that's horizontal. Instead, I'm coming up on something much closer that's standing vertical and I have to slam on my brake. And literally right there at the road is a 25-foot tall bipedal humanoid being.
What?
It is outlined in golden light. It has kind of a V-shaped torso that goes up to where its shoulders are, and where like you would consider its shoulder blades is where those red spheres are that I saw. It had one arm that was down, and I mean, like, picture, even though for a 25-foot tall being having like double the arm length ratio, adjust that for us as humans to a 25-foot tall creature. It had one arm that was down, and it had one arm that was up with an icicle spear looking beam of light and stuff. It had a triangular chin, and the rest of it looks like, you know, the back of a freight truck. You know, it was rectangular with two smaller, like, illuminated rectangles, and it was like just the main features were like outlined. The rest of it was just like black. And I looked down at my clock, you know, knowing that this is an extraterrestrial hotspot area here. And I was like, I make note. I'm just like, it is 1:37 a.m., July the 1st, 2023. You know, just in case I have missing time or that I'm abducted, I'm making note right then and there so I don't lose anything, because this is significant. And I'm just sitting parallel in the road, my little red Prius, and this being like starts squatting down and it lowers its head to my windshield, where I'm literally like 3 feet away from looking at this thing. The only thing separating us is a panel of glass. You know, like, I'm as close to me as you and you right now. And I hear a voice in my head that says, I am like you. I build with light. And I was just like, what? It was like all of a sudden, just like you had kind of like the flashing eyes, you know, textures, colors, patterns, designs, psychedelic things, where it's just like, I'm seeing what can be made with light, like what different patterns and colors and wavelengths and spectrums and this and that. And it was like a download into my brain that was like orgasmic too, from head to toe. And it was like, the next thing I remember is he was on the other side of the road. He flashed really red, really bright golden, then red, and then like cyan, and then like phew. And I looked at my clock on my dash and it was 1:38 a.m. I was like, oh, well, I guess I better keep driving back to Boulder now.
You met like the god of light painting, and he
Maybe, I don't know. It's like,
Could have easily been a alien from another planet or something.
yeah.
or an extra dimensional being. It's like, I did end up making a move. I made a case report file with the Mutual UFO Network. So there is an actual MUFON file on this. And I talked to one of their representatives on the phone for like an hour or so and told them the experience, and they relayed it and cross-referenced. They said, you encountered an elemental, non-otherwise classified being that we've had reports scantly of, but there is nothing to confirm what exactly it is or where exactly it comes from. But as a post note on this, I went to an art exhibition where they were featuring art here from the Valley. And I get there a few minutes before my friend that I'm meeting, and I'm walking around looking at all these pieces, and I see in this glass case there's a doll, right? And it is a Native American doll from this valley.
Kachina.
It said it was a Kachina.
Yeah.
Kachina. So it said that the lore of the Kachinas is that they are elemental beings that harness the power of the, of existence. And they're benevolent, and they appear to people to teach them lessons on these things. So I got taught a lesson how to use light. And honestly, like, that definitely changed my understanding of not only my art form, but just the vastness of all realities, I would say. And yeah.
Dude, I mean, talk about like a mentorship, right? Like, I mean, if you're going to get mentored by like a trans-dimensional, light being if possible. Like.
Exactly. It's like hard for me to be around the normies these days. I'll tell you that much.
It gets harder and harder. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like, why I bring up like Zion and Babylon is because like the Boulder area, I lived there for like 11 years and like I loved it. It was good for that amount of time. But then it's like any new place, it starts out kind of like a very progressive, like there's not a lot of people there at the beginning. There's kind of like this heyday of like, oh my gosh, we have this new spot. Like Boulder was like that in the 60s and 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
Where, it was just like the happening place. And then like what happens? Well, more and more people find out about it. More and more people go there. It gets developed more and more. Now you got Google in Boulder. You got people driving Lambos. And then, all of a sudden it's like, too many people for me, too much traffic for me. Like I got to get out of here. And then that's why I moved down here. Some people call it like Zion out here because it's like a lot of just open space, a lot of undeveloped land. Like there is so many ideas out here, but there's also so little money. And so I'm like, if there is some, kind of landfall of like money that is going to be coming out soon, which is possible with this like AI kind of, exponential cultural moment we're in, where maybe AI can like become this like sugar daddy, or it can become this like redistributor of like wealth and resources, such that all the ideas out here, if everyone out here was actually wealthy and had money, we could actually like do some really cool stuff out here. And so, but then is that just what's going to happen out here too? Is the same thing that happened to Boulder, where it's like more and more people move out and it just becomes like another tech bro haven. And then you got to go find a new Zion somewhere, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's just crazy prices up in Denver and stuff these days, and like there's just a pace of life. And I feel like also as things get more and more chaotic, it's really nice to be in like a small town where it's like it just feels simple and whatnot. So I don't know what you guys think about that, but
yeah, I have to relate to that because the summer I lived here for 2 months.
Right.
Honestly, for me, like I was staying in the Baca and going into Crestone itself, I loved it because it was like Mayberry. Like I'd just take a little stroll around the 2 blocks I was there. I'd see, Kyle Terry, or I'd see, Laura, the apothecary, and everyone would be like, oh, hey, TJ, like, what's up? Like it would become my social hour. I'd just make the rounds, and end up in some level of Crestone wookery. Someone's having a barbecue or whatever, like it's cool because everyone is super chill. Everyone knows you by name, where it's not like the metro where people can just be walking past you with earbuds and just tuned out, or it's just like there's almost like a level of sterile vibes out there where you feel like people are just kind of existing instead of living, like they're not really connected to the present.
They don't really like offer a lot.
Exactly.
So yeah, when you like try to socialize or meet with them or have like a deep conversation with them.
It's kind of sad because like you're a really social guy, and so you'll be out in public just like wanting to connect with people and joke around with people, but like they're just not available. Like
no, they're not.
Yeah.
Not emotionally. They're
Right.
just not open. They're not present.
They're
I say hi and they just keep walking.
right.
And I'm like, I'm kind of used to that, so I don't really like take it personal. But then it does make me appreciate the people that I can have like deeper conversations with, and I can joke around with people that I haven't met,
I mean, yeah.
in some circles, like the ecstatic dance community, and like some people that I work with that are like kind of like-minded individuals.
Totally. I mean, like in a city like New York or something, it's like people almost have to be hardened just to like be able to get through the day, because it's like if you're totally open, it's like you're going to get overwhelmed with just, I don't know, maybe the energies or how many people are there. Yeah. But like, yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of these people too, it's like they're, I don't know, you kind of have to cut off a certain kind of aspect of yourself or something, because I feel like we naturally by nature just like, like when we're little kids and stuff, we're like usually pretty open and just like want to like play and connect and stuff.
With like anyone, yeah.
Exactly. And so TJ's like taking pictures right now, but like
TJ's taking
Shooters go
pictures
shoot.
right now.
you can take the photographer out of the photo shoot, but you can't take the photo shoot out of the photographer.
Oh man, speaking of being social, they were loving you a few weeks ago at that mansion party, Spencer.
Oh yeah, the mansion party I went to in Denver. Yeah, that was a vibe.
It was our mutual friend Shannon was having a big Halloween party, and I did my photo stuff there. And then Spencer's like, "Yeah, I'm coming." And like he came dressed as Jigsaw from the Saw.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, I was like, "Yeah, my friend Spencer's here." I was like, "Wait, Spencer Spaghetti?" And it's just like, "Oh my God!" They're like, "Spaghetti's here, Spaghetti's here." You know, and it's just like you can't even tell that he's there because he's wearing the Jigsaw mask, you know. And then they're all by the end of the night, all the girls are just like, "Where'd Spaghetti go? Did Spaghetti leave already?"
Want to play a game?
You want to play a game?
Some people are so ungrateful to be alive. I need to put them in jigsaw traps.
I mean, that's one way, right? To maybe make them grateful is just like torture them until they.
Yeah.
Spencer, how's your day going?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Nice.
How's your day going?
Hernandez. Okay, so Hernandez, you guys.
Need to talk about Hernandez.
We do need to talk about Hernandez.
Wait, do you know Hernandez?
I do. Unfortunately, I feel like I'm blessed and cursed to know Hernandez. Yeah, I mean, do you know Hernandez?
Man, Hernandez is there.
I feel like Hernandez is on the rise. Like, I feel like it's like this exponential curve where it's just everything's becoming more and more Hernandez.
Yeah.
I mean, what if, like, do you guys feel like if you had the option to access, like, let's call it Hernandez mind as like a hive mind kind of thing.
Okay.
So there would be benefits and some downsides to accessing Hernandez mind. Like, let's say some of the benefits would be that, like, you would be way more tapped into, like, a collective coherence. But then, like, some of the downsides would be, like, you would lose some of your kind of, like, individualistic sort of personality. Like, would you still do it?
Yeah.
You would definitely do it. Okay.
Wait, what are we doing?
So we're activating Hernandez mind.
Yeah, do it.
Okay. Hernandez mind activated.
Hernandez mind activated.
Hernandez mind activated.
We are Hernandez.
We are all Hernandez.
But who is Hernandez? That's the question.
Everything is so much simpler now that we're all Hernandez. We don't need to ask the question, who is Hernandez? We are Hernandez.
I thought I was spaghetti.
You can be Spaghetti Hernandez.
Wait, have you seen Hernandez?
Okay.
Hernandez, no one really sees Hernandez. Hernandez is more of like a idea or a concept.
I think he goes to my gym.
I think he actually like came into my house last night.
Did Hernandez try to cuddle with you?
Yeah, he helped me sleep last night. He like whispered me sweet nothings and
Oh.
yeah, it was really sweet. Love you, Hernandez.
Love you, Hernandez.
Love you, Hernandez.
What about Hernandez? It's Hernandez, but what if...
Why is it always Hernandez? Yeah,
Why is
like,
it always Hernandez? What is that? That would have to imply that there's a Hernandez.
dude, it's our turn now. I mean, I feel like it is the men's turn. Like my buddy, he just put up a sign on his toilet that says, "Actually, leave the toilet seat up because it's our turn now."
Oh, let's go. I'm ready for
It's
that.
our turn now, yes.
I mean, women always go first, right? And so we let the Me Too movement go first, you know? But what about us, dude? Like, you think it's easy? There's like a bias or an assumption that it's just like easy being a man, dude. I don't think it's easy being anyone. I don't think anyone's having an easy ass time.
No one's having an easy time.
And if they do seem to be having an easy time, it's just a matter of time until they're not having an easy time. So,
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Out in this world.
And when you're not having a good time, you just have to wait a little bit, and then you might be having a good time down the road.
Stick around, man, you know, just like maybe if you stick around, something cool will happen, you know,
Yeah.
maybe not though, but that's okay either way. I don't need cool shit to be happening to like have a good time.
Yeah, that's where it's just you learn to appreciate where you're at each present moment and roll with the punches. Don't sweat anything, because ultimately, when you think that you're about to be like, "Oh my God, I just blew out a tire on the highway and I don't know how to change it," someone's gonna come along and know how to change it, or better yet, after that experience, empower yourself and make it better.
Yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be okay,
Right.
no matter what happens, and just learn to roll with the punches and find the humor in all of it.
My neighbor, so I just met my neighbor, Gertie, and like one thing she said that like I thought was really good was she's like, I'm only doing a couple things these days, you know? It's like I'm doing the best I can to take care of myself, like to take really excellent care of myself with where I'm at and what I know. And I'm relying on the generosity of the human spirit, you know. I'm relying on the generosity of my neighbors and my community and like, you know, whatever. And so like, and she's like, I'm just going to do that till I die, you know, take care of myself, receive support from others, and then I die. And like, I'm like, that's kind of where I'm at too, you know. It's like
There was a third thing. What was the third thing she?
die, just die.
Oh, just die. It's guaranteed part of life. Yeah.
Maybe, right? I mean, like maybe the appearance dies, like this form, you know, can die, but then like what you actually are can't die. I mean, like that would maybe make no sense to what you actually are. It's like it doesn't even understand these concepts of like death or aliveness or anything. It's just like it just is.
When you get into the study of quantum physics, it really does kind of make you realize how much reality is kind of an illusion.
Maybe not even kind of an illusion. Maybe it's like total mirage, you know, and it's just like.
Well, think about this. Everything that we see is not actually light. It's just the electric impulses from photons reflecting off of things that show us what's happening. If we were to take a quantum joyride on a photon right now, we would be experiencing all time instantaneously because the way it measures time is at 0. Speed of light is the threshold for space-time. We would be experiencing everything happening at once, nothing happening at once, all possibilities being able to unfold, and absolutely no possibilities being able to unfold. So when you do deep dive into how reality actually works, like there's the many worlds theory that now like we're tapping into with supercomputers and AI, you know, like quantum tunneling. That's a phenomenon where the information that a photon is carried arrives before it's even sent.
Mm-hmm. So like this could be that, right? Like this could be just like that joyride on a photon, a quantum photon or something. And it's already gone like before it even happens.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we like to imagine that like something is here, right? But like maybe nothing's even here. Like it's just it doesn't leave any trace and it already just like is gone before you can even say it's already gone.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like before a photon is actually absorbed as far as its energy, the only thing that can absorb that is an electron, essentially. That's how you get the electromagnetic spectrum. That's where something that's massless like a photon actually does interfere with something that has mass like an electron. So a photon whizzes by an electron. The electron gets all excited and then it sends an electrical impulse. That's how our retinas are able to absorb what we're seeing. It's just the reflection of light. The light itself is already gone. You know, by the time we're actually seeing stuff, it's long gone. It just vanishes. The energy is transmitted, though, so therefore it doesn't break, you know, the laws of relativity. But it's like a ghost almost, and in how it functions.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it is like all a little sparkle, like one little sparkle or one little orb or something, where it just like, you know, it's able to like dream itself, you know, as all these apparent objects, persons, places, things. But like, you know, it never changes from being like this like orb or this like little sparkle that's just like hyper, like it's just like everything everywhere all at once and nothing nowhere never. And like, you know, you were talking about, you know, seeing this light being, and like back in, I don't know if I've talked about this yet on here, but like maybe just a little bit. So in 2021 or something, you know, I was on a small amount of mushrooms and I encountered like this orb, and it was like one of the most beautiful like things I've ever seen in my life. It was just like doing this kind of rainbow. I mean, it was like dendritic sort of like lightning, like dot lightning. And it was like this really bright, like white and blue, and like, it just like, you know, came right up to me. Like I was like looking at the sky, the night sky, and it was almost like one of the stars just like came right up to me.
Whoa.
And I don't know if it came even from like a ship or, you know, I really don't know like what is possible or what isn't possible. And it just started like doing this beautiful like patterning. And I was so in awe that I didn't even pull out my phone or anything. Like I was just kind of like, dumbfounded. And then just kind of as soon as it came and put on this little light show, then it was like gone. Yeah. And like I wrote this song about it called Little Sparkle. You know, we'll be releasing that, you know, very shortly. But yeah, I mean, and I find it interesting that a lot of times people are on, because you said you were like on on weed or something when you saw this light being, right? Like,
It'd been probably about 3 hours or so since I last smoked a dab. That's
okay.
roughly it.
Yeah, so you were definitely far on the come down. So,
Yeah.
I mean, but it does happen where it's like people are on kind of a small amount of these psychedelics, and I think they just open you up maybe in
They
a certain
do?
way. Yeah.
Well, it's like I had an experience out here with the ant people while I was on San Pedro.
Mm.
It was like I was near the sand dunes camping. I was near the sand dunes camping one night, and I took some San Pedro and decided to do some light paintings. There was like some things internally, like I was worrying about some events that were going to be happening into the valley that were ultimately not very safe for people, with me with the knowledge knowing and having to stand up to it. And it was on the San Pedro, and I was kind of just like tapping into the energies of things, and I felt like in my brain what honestly felt like tickling feelers kind of touching my brain, and which I've done the San Pedro before. It's like I've done it at Hoover Hot Springs, just chilling. I never had this sensation before, but it's like I heard a voice in my head that I would honestly say sounds insectoid. And it said, "Don't worry about her. She has no colony."
Whoa.
Yeah.
Who's her? I mean, what was it referring to?
Well, just someone who threw a very poorly run and unsafe music festival out here.
She doesn't have a colony. Okay, so like the ant people like maybe live inside the sand dunes or inside Mount Blanca or something like that. Like I've heard a lot of ant people stuff out here.
That's the story.
What are ant people?
So the Hopi have the story of the ant people, which talks about the cataclysm I mentioned earlier, where the third world end. The Kachinas appeared in the sky, warning people that if you want to survive, you have to go underground and live with the ant people. And the ant people are under the sand dunes. Apparently, like, there are tunnels, like, all the way to Mount Shasta and some of the sacred mountains, because Blanca Peak itself, according to the Hopi, is known as the sacred mountain of the east. This is the eastern part of the world for them. This is also where the world began for them as they know it. There's a dozen tribes that say this is where the world began. This is Africa, pretty much, in a lot of ways. Eden, whatever. But the ant people housed the humans there for a few generations while this cataclysm of fire and flood was unfolding. And then after that is where they emerged at Sipapu. But yes, apparently the ant people live at the sand dunes, and I definitely feel like I've had my experience with them. They're here. They say the sand dunes are the result of them actually digging their tunnels, and that's the waste.
Oh, so they were digging their tunnels, and all of that, like, all of the stuff they were digging out, like, ended up going up to make the sand dunes.
That's what the legend says, yes.
Interesting. Because, like, I mean, the story on paper is that, like, there was, like, a lake here, and then it dried out, and then the wind kind of, like, blew it all into that one particular spot.
Right.
So who knows, because I wasn't there when, the sand dunes was actually created, so I don't really know.
Well, I was reading this book even that was talking about back in 1930 that the fastest way to travel from Moffett to Alamosa used to be by boat. Because the valley used to have a lot more water here and just canals and things. You'd ride a canal ferry down to Alamosa from here. This old book I found in Cresttown showed me that. But yeah, so I have a few friends that talk to native tribes about the ant people. And they're just like, oh yeah, like they're described like being short, kind of like triangular looking face, big bulbous head. And they said like they've shown them pictures of gray aliens before. They're just like, ant person. And so you tie that knowledge with, the whole theory of there being a gray alien base at Blanca Peak. And it makes sense, when they're just like, oh, well, there's ant people at the sand dunes. There's gray aliens at Blanca Peak. What if they're one and the same? I think there's plenty of evidence to support that.
Maybe, yeah. Spencer, I mean, I want to talk to you about the whole, like, marijuana thing, because, like, you, like, are doing kind of an interesting thing right now where it's, like, you're kind of taking a break and you're finding a new relationship with it. And you're also, like, kind of exchanging it with, like working out and stuff. And so, yeah, I don't know if we want to talk about that right now.
Yeah, we can talk about that. So yeah, after I read Dopamine Nation this summer, I was backstage working at Red Rocks reading a book, Top of the Road. I started reading Dopamine Nation, got through like maybe 90 pages in one shift. And it just kind of explained addiction to me really well and how marijuana affects anxiety and stuff. And they're like, well, if you go 30 days without smoking weed, it can like really improve your anxiety if you have any anxiety, even when you're not smoking. And I just decided to quit cold turkey, that night. And ended up going all summer without smoking weed, and after about a month, I had like, a 5 milligram edible or a 10 milligram edible that was pretty nice, but I still wasn't, it didn't really like pull me back in, from that edible. I wasn't like going back to daily smoking. And then, after about, I would have an edible every so often, but was really enjoying my sobriety, and I started going to the gym quite a bit this summer. Like June, July, I started really going to the gym. And because I live in Boulder, I started to go to Crunch Fitness. It's off of Walnut Street. Great place. I had a friend that was helping me to go and stuff. And then
who's your friend?
my friend Martin Cash. He's an artist, very creative type. He's also like really funny. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know why he's so funny, but we used to work together at Thrive, and his brother is a comedian.
Tell us some of your Thrive stories, Spencer.
Let me just finish with the weed story real quick. So, yeah, I went like, many months before I kind of wanted to smoke weed again. After like 3.5 months, I was like smoking just here and there, and I really appreciated not smoking every day. I didn't know what would happen after I smoked one night, at a friend's house, if I was going to go back to smoking all the time every day. But I really was just enjoying it every so often, like smoking, roughly around once a week, or maybe even a little less or more than that. I kind of smoked around my birthday in October, middle of October. Yeah, and I'd rather be working out and sober, I don't know. I don't really have the same relationship with weed as I used to. And it's been a big game changer that I'm not filling up my lungs with smoke all the time, every day. I'd rather just be sober and remember my dreams than to be smoking and kind of affecting my masculine and feminine energies with cannabis.
Well, you still smoke. I mean, let's make that clear.
Oh yeah, I am still smoking, but like I'm smoking a lot less frequently,
Right.
and that's kind of.
You want to say the story?
I'm actually okay on the joint right now. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's what it comes down to, though. It's because a lot of people, like, they can start out using marijuana and it helps with their anxiety. Like, it makes their anxiety go down.
Right.
And then there's other people where maybe it started out helping with their anxiety, and then down the road, they actually start to feel more anxious, while using it.
Sure.
So I think it does come down to, like, frequency. Like, how often are you using this thing?
Right.
What's the actual right, like, for your makeup, just the way you're designed, what's the right amount and how much, to be using it? Like, when you are using it, how much to take in, at that time, so that you're in that sweet spot, like that kind of right zone. Like, there's like that one, thing where it's like the difference between a medicine and a poison is like the dosage, the amount and the frequency.
Maybe intention too.
Yeah. I also have to say, I feel like with cannabis too, it comes down to also finding the personal strain that works best for you. Because some people might, vibe more with an indica. Myself personally, I do very well with light sativas because I like to be in a flow state and I like to be conversational and productive.
Sure. Yeah. I could see that.
And also, like, some people, they kind of like become, there's this term dry drunk, where people like, they're not using alcohol anymore, but they're still kind of obsessed, with not using so much that it's like it becomes neurotic in itself. So I think there's like another aspect to it where it's like maybe what's really healthy for you is to like let yourself do things you enjoy instead of like being super rigid of like, no, I can never use this thing again. You know, this substance is like not good for me. It's evil. Like maybe some people have such an addictive personality that they really have to have that kind of hard line like that. But other people, it's like there was a grandma and she was like 110 years old and they asked her what her secret was to live that long. She said tequila. You know, and so it's like, yeah, maybe some people like can make a good case for tequila being poison, but at least for this grandma, like it helped her live like super long because like it was some kind of release or something she liked doing. You know, like it's healthy to let yourself do the things that, you know, bring you joy.
Totally, yeah. You got to do the things that bring you joy, and you know, I'm not really sure how I feel about weed really, because it's kind of bittersweet. You know, like I kind of use it as like, you know, how they say that small doses of marijuana can increase dopamine production. You know, so I'm really only using like lights amount of it. You know, sometimes only a few hits, so I can like listen to music or even like kind of listen to music the next day. You know, and kind of feel like it's like closer to me. I'm like closer to the music, or it's like I'm like hearing it better in a way.
And we also have cannabinoids in our body naturally, and there's ways to like access those, you know, through yoga or working out and stuff. You know,
Sure,
you
yeah.
can like you feel high after you work out. You know, it's like a different kind of high, and it's like, you know, maybe a little more. You feel more clear and stuff.
I'm getting that dopamine from working out because that's like I'm like achieving something. I'm like, oh, like if I work out before I go to work, then I'm like achieving this like feel good state of like accomplishing the things that I want to do. All right, there's like a lot going on, but yeah.
Sorry, TJ's taking like 20 selfies right now.
I thought someone came into the train for a second, and I'm maybe just hallucinating in this you know, sober state. Because we're in a train, you know, inside Area 420.
We are in a train in Area 420, Schneblyville, Colorado.
put
It is an
things-
ice box. It is cold in here.
Yeah, it's cold.
It's late November.
All right, sorry. Keep going.
So, yeah, like for me, like, you know, I don't really need to smoke that much weed anymore because I really get off on just like relaxing and going to the gym and like going to the sauna and stuff and like sweating for me. You know, I love to sweat in the sauna, like in a hot sauna, 170, 180, 190, 200 degrees. Like it's hot, but I know it's, you know, it's like I can stay in for a good amount of time and feel good after and be like, well, I accomplished something today. And I, you know, I kind of get the dopamine from that too, from when I like go after my goals and go after the daily habits that I want to finish in that day.
So you feel like you got to accomplish something every day, or else like you just like feel bad about yourself or something?
I just have like a lot that I want to do in life, and that, you know, I kind of feel like I just like being productive and busy, you know, for some of the day. And then, you know, at night, I kind of like to relax more and like take it easy and do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah, like you still got like a bucket list of things. Like you're like, I'm going to be doing these things, you know, and I'm not going to rest until I get these things done.
Yeah, yeah. Like I'm happy when I go to the gym and, you know, I set the goal of like, hey, I want to go 3 to 5 days a week. And so when I hit that goal, I feel good, you know. And if I don't hit the goal, it's fine. You know, I can just go do the gym on another day. You know, but right now that's my goal, is just, you know, build strength and get stronger and, you know, feel good about my body. I want to look good naked too.
I mean, at least you could be honest about that, you know, because like I know personal trainers and stuff where they're like, man, sometimes my clients, they try to pretend like that's not what they want, but that's really what they want. It's like, let's just cut to the chase. You want to look good naked. And
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that, you know, just owning it. Like, you know, like a lot of us, we do have a lot of vanity, you know. It's like we really care about our self-image. We really care about like how we come off, because we want to have like a certain kind of relationship, a certain kind of girlfriend, a certain kind of like
I was looking at one of the other podcast hosts, and he was just making me laugh. So
yeah. I'll drink to that.
Love you, Spencer.
Yeah, if you want to open that can, that would be great because I'd probably ingest some of that. Thank you, sir.
Can we leave this in?
Just admit it, man. You want to look good. You don't want to look bad, man.
I don't want to look bad. Yeah, I mean, I've been skinny my whole life, and I've had trouble gaining weight for a long time. I definitely have had stints of like trying to eat a lot of food and gain weight, and it just wasn't really working. And then my friend was like, well, if you work out quite a bit and eat a lot, then you could probably gain some weight. And I did eventually gain some weight like this year.
How many times a day are you eating now, Spence?
I'm eating like probably like 3 to 4 days, 3 to 4 times a week.
Wait, 3 or 4 times a week?
Apologies, 3 to 4 times a day. I try to hit like 2,500 to 3,000 calories a day, roughly like maybe like 80 to 100 grams of protein. But, you know, I definitely eat as much as I can, you know, and I feel good when I eat a lot. Like, I don't know. I used to weigh like 130 for a long time. I was like probably like 90 pounds in high school. I was very skinny. Even had an ex-girlfriend kind of make fun of my chicken legs or something when she was like intoxicated. But now that I weigh like 150, you know, I feel a lot better about my weight, and like I feel like I'm stronger and I'm looking strong.
You do, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a huge change. You know, I think it's really healthy, and yeah.
What
Really.
prompted you to really begin doing the strength training, Spencer?
I think it had to do with stopping the smoking. Like when I kind of was taking a long break from cannabis, I got more motivated to like reach some of my goals and stuff. And I think starting to go to the gym with a friend and not smoking got me really going a lot more often and getting stronger over time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think, you know, it's so good to like be motivated and stuff like that. But like at the same time too, it's like you got to take days off. You know, I think there's some people that they go overboard in the other direction.
Well, yeah, we got a new guest joining the
guest.
show.
All right.
Oh,
What's
suck-
good, brother?
Hey, didn't mean to invade on all this, but
We just had a pirate come aboard our train. A train pirate just hopped on.
that's right.
Captain Koya. All right.
Curious about these two fellows here. What part of the galaxy they came from and why they're here and why am I here?
Okay.
What's your name, brother?
All right, so my name's Beau Dean Mackenzie. I came here 2 years ago. Me and my brother bought some land out here. We called it the SLV Park. And this is where I met Chriso, and he came out to a couple of our events. And I told him about Schneblyville and what I think we could create our own town out here, kind of a thing, and thought it was a very manly thing to do, you know. So it's a divine masculine platform, we believe, and we're on the infant stages of manifesting this idea of Schneblyville. And so I lived in
Schneblyville.
Sedona for like 4 years. I did Sedona wine tours. I also did a shuttling and entertainment restaurant and all this stuff. And a huge tower moment happened. I wasn't meant to be there. I was restationed out here, but Mr. Schnebly had his wife Sedona. He named it after her. And so, and ironically, Mr. Schnebly and his family lived in Colorado in 1930s. And so we're kind of honoring Mr. Schnebly. So we're going to name a town after him, since he never got a town named after him as his wife. So it's an energetic thing that we're connecting these two things. And then it's just a play on words, and it's fun. And so what else? Yeah, we have the park out there. We're going to create an RV park. We're going to have also New Earth living spaces that we're creating as well. So it's an off-grid community based upon consciousness. And so I'm kind of part of that movement. And yeah, it's good to be here. That's me. Any questions?
Good to have you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Let me come in. I would have left if you didn't want me here. I would have been totally fine. However, I'm very curious about these two gentlemen.
I think we're all kind of curious these days, you know, like it's good to kind of be open and curious about what's out there, you know.
Chris, what are you curious about?
Nothing. I mean, I wonder even if, you know, this is even really happening, I guess.
Oh, this is happening.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's interesting, right? Because, like, you can say something like that, like, oh, this is happening.
But it's also not.
I mean, maybe, right? Like, yeah, maybe it's both and neither, or maybe it's just neither, you know?
What is even happening? Like,
Where's Hernandez?
I mean, I would love to ask Hernandez about this, yeah. All right, so we got Beau Mackenzie just walked in. That's how we do it around here. You just show up, and we were talking about comedy now. We're talking about humor.
yeah,
We're talking about bits and jokes and silliness
funny pieces and slides.
and improv and
good old-fashioned wookery.
You know, it's like these days, it's just I see too many people taking themselves way too serious.
yeah.
You know, and it's like, it's not really necessary. It's like, why take yourself so serious? Why expect people to take you so serious?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's really not that important, I feel. So,
I mean, if you take something serious, maybe you're just kind of like attached to something, or you're kind of like buying into something, or you were abused as a child, or you're abusing children. Like, I don't know what's going on with that.
You know, I got a really good story on this subject that I experienced last week. So I was up in the Dollar General in Laramie, Wyoming, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's this kid behind the counter, and he's ringing up this old, rugged, rounded face Wyoming looking fella. You know, you could tell he'd seen some hard winters up there in Laramie. And
Times.
yeah. And the kid rings him up and he's like, "Have a good day, boss." Then I walk up, and then all of a sudden the old man turns around and he's like, "Do you have a manager's card?" And the kid's like, what? And the kid's like, "I need your manager's card." The kid's like, "Why?" And he's like, "You called me boss, and that upset me. I would like to speak to your manager."
Wow.
And so now, tying this all back in perfectly to what you said, you know, talking about, you know, childhood traumas or whatever, like I'm up there in my fucking African golden cat fur coat, and I say the most intentional Denver Boulder thing ever. I was like, you know, don't take anything this man said personally, you know, like it's probably just from his own prior wounding that he still has not healed within himself yet. And the kid was like, "Man, fuck that old man, you know, like I'm just gonna go home, smoke weed, play some Fortnite." I was like, good for you. Good for you not letting him get you down, brother. You have a good day, kid.
You never know what someone's been through, right? Like he might have got hit with a banana by his parent, and then while the parent was hitting him with the banana, kept saying like, "You're the boss, you're the boss, you're the boss." that's why he doesn't like it, you know?
I don't know. Maybe he got tied in a corner and had to watch something while the boss did something to his wife.
Yeah, you know, the boss might have, you know, bossed him around a little bit. Yeah, Spencer?
yeah, like maybe he like didn't like it because he thinks like maybe he had a bad boss in the past and he doesn't like the idea of the term boss because it means it's someone who's like, you know, the boss master, like the slave master kind of thing. Like, I'm the boss, like you have to do as I say, and
I'm bossy.
and I made you do things in the past that you didn't like. So when I hear boss now, I think of that trauma.
You know what we're talking about right now, you guys? We're talking about the master-slave dynamic, and it has morphed a lot since there were actual like slaves and stuff, but it is still alive and well. And maybe that's why a lot of people take stuff seriously too, is because they're still trapped in this master-slave dynamic, and they can't really see a way out. It's not fun being a slave, you know. You're not making jokes and laughing. I mean, hopefully, you know, you have a good attitude and stuff, but like it's hard out there for a slave.
Well, it's like there's so many different ways you can get into, and it's like I worked for a corporate hospital system for 6 years, and it's like watching what my patients had to go through just to get certain things. They had to get different notes from different doctors, and they're just going around from one department to another department to another department so they can get what they need from this department. And like that in its own way is like corporate slavery of someone, you know, with the corporate medical system. And it's horrible. That's why I got out of it. It's like why I'm living in my vehicle now is like, it's not because I'm poor. It's because I got tired of playing the game.
And that's
I
why,
didn't sign up for.
You know, and I find it interesting how and just tying into humor, how some people can say something funny and then other people that say it's not funny. And so this, I feel like, has always been a suppression of my true personality that I just want to break loose. But I find when I do in certain settings, it doesn't go too well. So there's this, I don't know, collective healing that's happening where I have to hold back because I have a tendency to want to tease. And some people just don't take teasing because abuse is the only language they know.
Yeah.
So when you start, I have a good buddy at home in Utah, and his name's Tyler Robinson, not the guy that killed Charlie Kirk, but he was a teaser, and we would get involved, and him and I would just be teasing. And so, some of us are more censored, I feel like, just maybe our heritage, background, who we are, and so we are censored more than other people. And so I think we need to understand that, and then I realize there's things that I can say that I know I can get away with, and maybe Chriso says some stuff that I know he can get away with, but where I couldn't. So I think a lot of this is in factor when it comes to just humor in general, laughing, having a good time. So it's always nice to hang out with people that, are like got a good sense of humor, got a little thick skin. And then sometimes humor, there's the slap humor that's not good, that's just degrading, and it gets not funny. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
I mean, a lot of humor is like timing and stuff too, like, and like, context and whatnot, because like, I don't know if you guys have heard the joke about the inmates. They were like, having a comedy night at the jail, and they'd all been there so long that like they, instead of saying the full joke, they would just say like, joke 62, and then everyone would laugh, and then they'd be like, joke 88, everyone would laugh. But there was like a new guy there, and so he gets up there and he goes, joke 76, and then nobody laughs, and one of the inmates leans to the other and says, some people just don't know how to tell a joke. So, yeah.
Well, that's the year I was born, so what do you mean by that, Chris?
No, I don't mean anything by that. I mean,
what is 76?
76? Okay, so 76 is 67 backwards. I don't know if you guys are up on this young kid slang. Yeah, the 6-7, yeah. So each generation has like different slang. Okay, so I met my neighbor Gertie very recently. She's my new next door neighbor out here in the grain bins. Oh, okay. And one of the first things she says to me is, Chris, are you straight? And I said, do you mean like, am I gay? And she goes, no, do you smoke weed? And I was like, yeah, I'm straight. And so like we go over there and we start talking about just like the different generations, how different generations have different slangs. Like when I was a kid, we would make our arms like an X, and then we would like thrust it kind of on our hips, which is like this like gesture.
Suck it.
Yeah. And then we were like, at least that meant something, right? Because the kids these days, it's like all 6-7, which like, as far as I know, it doesn't mean anything at all. It's like, it's just something that went viral because it has a certain catchiness or just a weirdness to it that kids love. But then, that's, 76 is just, reversing it, flipping it on them.
Yeah, I was born in 1976. I kind of bring that 70s energy into everything I do, my pants and stuff. And so I like to boogie and get down, but yeah, it seems like on my phone there's all this 1976 stuff that's sent to me, like, and I find it really funny actually. So yeah, 1976 is when I was born. So how old am I?
Carry the 1, divide by 2.
49, yeah.
49.
Speaking about comedy and talking about using it in day to day, like I use it all the time whenever I do photo shoots with people, because I find that whenever someone is naturally smiling and laughing, like that gets the best shots. It gets the most organic feelings, and then it's just very good with the flow. So I was doing this photo shoot with these 2 fire dancers last week. It's like, yeah, like, thanks for tagging along for me to practice my 1-hour Netflix special. It's like this $5,000 camera equipment here is really just a prop. Like I'm just really trying to test and gauge and see what the female market is right now as far as how my jokes land. Because number one, like I didn't know it works because y'all are half the audience. Number two, I need to make sure that what I say is not going to get me canceled. That's number two. Number three, this whole thing about me being a photographer is just a front. So just roll with it.
Have you been canceled before?
No,
Okay.
thank you.
So, well, I sometimes say actually, like, you haven't actually lived until you've been canceled. I've been canceled. I've been canceled, I think, multiple times actually. And yeah, and
By who?
in the by people online, by people who I thought were my friends.
Yeah.
And I feel like being canceled actually can free you up in certain ways, because then you don't care so much about looking good, because you've already had the worst case scenario happen, which is having your whole community actively attack you.
Yeah.
Who cares about a reputation? Because it's like you can't really be free and act the way you really want if you have to maintain a reputation and uphold some type of image to someone.
Exactly. Identity management itself is going to keep, if you are invested in identity management, that is going to keep you, quote unquote, playing small, as people like to say.
Yeah.
Oh, it's exhausting. Yeah, I think that's a hot topic right now. I think in the collective was talking about betrayal and
Yeah.
why betrayal happens. And it's all based upon manipulation. And so sometimes in my own life, I've been betrayed severely, canceled, deleted, outcast, lone wolf, kind of an energy. And I've been able to process this, like, why am I Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? Why won't they let me play in any of their games? And for me, it was just, I just showed up. I never said a damn thing. And everyone's like, get Beau out of here. What's wrong? We can't have him here. Cancel him, everything. So it was real hurtful, right? It
Yeah.
damaged a part of my personification that I believed I was trying to present to the world. And now with my new glow up and my new coming up and my new authentic self more coming out, I think this is where we activate in the quantum field the new version of yourself that you really always deep down kind of knew you could do, and you could be that star because you're the star of your own show.
Mm-hmm.
But betrayal energy is really a brutal when you're on the end of getting stabbed in the back with 10 swords, and it just really affects your psyche and who am I? It questions your self-worth. Why am I here? But in the end, it's designed to create this new profound awakening in the person that was betrayed. And so swords, getting stabbed in the back, canceled. And so Schneblyville Pirate Radio, I believe, is going to go to the stratospheres and beyond, just because of the frequency that we're bringing to the table. Yeah, we're trying to build a new Earth community, and this is the beginning stages out here. And I've planted some seeds that I'm cultivating, and those that are in alignment with New Earth concepts of building a new Earth based upon community awareness. Yeah, we're doing it out here. This is it. This is the last frontier out here in San Luis Valley.
I'm hearing an Irish accent out of Beau.
Beau is Irish. Beau is actually part leprechaun. Beau is like, what are you, 1/16th leprechaun?
No, I come from Clan Mackenzie, proud clan that reigned for 300 years. So I have ancient energy in me. And so one thing I cannot stand is snakes in the grass and people that betray. So, yeah, my brother, it's kind of a thing where we're coming together. It's a Mackenzie prophecy. And
is it your actual brother? Or
yeah, my real blood
your
brother.
real brother. Okay.
Yeah, my real blood brother. He owns. I helped him start years ago. 360 Scenery. He went on to really develop it, and it's teamed up with Web Audiovisual, which is the biggest in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
And so 360 Scenery, they did really well last year. In fact, he just did a birthday party for Jeff Bezos. And it's talking about
Jeff Bezos.
Bezos.
Jeff
That
Bezos.
bozo.
Bezos.
Yeah, Yeah, so it was Armageddon, I think he said. But anyways, we're trying to create something magical out here and create like sanctuaries, places of healing, places where you can go and rest. That's kind of what Schneblyville was all about. If you read his story, it was a place to come and rest.
Dude, we're going to have a place where single moms can come.
We love MILFs. Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
We're going to have domes, geodesic domes that are also going to have like bathrooms available. And there's going to be hot tubs and like saunas and like just places where like you can come get a weekend away from the kids and just like be like your own authentic self with no obligations, because I feel like some people they feel so obligated that it's like they can't even do what they want. They can't let themselves do what they want because it's like too much.
Right, because we're like my path is outside of societal norms, and so I'm a trailblazer, and so it's very difficult to create something out of nothing, right? Because it's all a very visionary thing. And my business partner and I are still collaborating on some concepts and different things that we're going to bring to this community, and it just requires alignment. So we get the download, we get the information, but it's not necessarily right here and now. And so we just work on raising our frequency. And so once we raise our vibration, that attracts to us, right? Because that's ultimately what we're doing, is we're attracting our soul frequency to ourselves, which attracts abundance and whatever we're designed to do. So here we have glamping tents or glamping domes, and then we're going to pair them with, I have a solar business called Cosmic Journeys, where we'll have our flagship, our mini split, and it's just a place to stay.
Yeah.
It's just a place to get in there, like Chriso said, and then we'll have the bathrooms and the bathhouse and the other place in a separate area. And even the cooking area could be in a different area.
We're going to have beverages. Like, we're going to have a lot of different kinds of beverages. And we're talking like we cater for people that are like, hey, you know, if I go out, I like to have at least 3 beverages, you know, that are with me, you know, in arm's reach at any given time. And we're going to cater to people that want more than that too.
Right, because Amenities Club will establish Amenities Club. I'm already collaborating with a woman in the KV. It could be as far as over there. Hopefully it'll come over this way. But these train cars here are so amazing. And I know Mike Biggio has the same vision, is, you know, this is tourism. Come into the train car. We're going to have merch. We're going to have all the different cannabis farms that you can buy their little goodie bag from. And if you want, we can take you on a small tour around the cannabis farms and check it all out. And then, and then we're going to have the Sacred Lost Valley Park, which we have the website. And it's tied to an RV park and entertainment.
We're going to have heaters on this train. So
don't worry. You're freezing right now. It's like, all right.
I'm actually doing okay right now.
Yeah.
Feel like I'm buttoned up and I got some.
And we're saving money. We're saving money.
Yeah. Last night I ran out of heat in my camper and I was like, wow, okay. My other heater, secondary heater, went down. But I just got in my bed and my covers and I woke up in the morning and I was fine. So yeah, we have this fear of winter, I think, or fear of being cold. You'd be surprised what we can manage through. But we want to make it comfortable here in Schneblyville because we really love women.
Yeah,
that's right. We love women and we want it to be.
Yeah, we want to lie to them. We want to lie to women because sometimes women don't want to hear the truth, you know?
Yeah, we don't need them.
Or is it lying, or you're just withholding information?
Well, they call it a white lie. So you're not hurting anybody.
You're not really hurting.
No.
Just tell them you don't know what you want yet.
I mean, just be honest with them. I mean,
yeah.
Let's be honest.
Let's get on.
I mean, don't get me started on women.
Man, this could get us in trouble, but.
Well, Spencer, don't you have some funny things you want to say for the comedy section we were discussing?
Yeah.
Comedy section, yeah.
Let's start the comedy
'cause
portion.
You're quite the comedy. You're quite the comedian.
Cue the comedy
I'm
portion.
kind of a self-proclaimed comedian. You know, I definitely have cultivated some good comedy over the years, starting in like the school times, trying to be a class clown and not being very funny, kind of being outcasted by my classmates.
Would you say being funny has a lot to do with making jokes?
I think it has to do with making jokes and also sometimes just like the blunt honesty. Sometimes when you're just really honest, it can just cause people to laugh.
And I have to say, there is no one really more honest than Mr. Spencer Friedman here. And whenever he gets on one, he just honestly makes everybody in the room die laughing.
I need a good laugh today for sure. Feeling kind of somber after.
So Spencer be like, he'll call, just be like, hey. I'll be like, hey. And just like, so I had 2 eggs today for lunch. They were pretty good. I had them with a little bit of garlic. And just like, oh, cool. You know?
Yeah, what'd you eat today?
You know, we're always getting the full report of Spencer's nutrition. Big boy is making sure he's doing well. I mean, it's like our friend Tucker said recently, is like, you know, TJ, I think Spencer is like oddly quite enlightened. And it's like he is. Like
There's a simplicity about Spencer.
yes.
That there's like a wise simplicity.
There is,
So
because
why-
Spencer is like the example of not taking life too seriously.
Yeah, he is the Tao, you know. He's just like, this is this.
Right.
This is just what it is, you know. I mean, I just it's easy for me to point it out because it's so simple and like, it's like, how much do we really know? You know, it's like, it's okay to like pretend like you don't know a lot. Also,
Yeah.
Maybe you don't even have to
what-
pretend.
What's your sign, Spencer?
I'm like a Libra.
A Libra.
I'm almost all Libra in my chart, and I have some Leo in my chart as well. Virgo.
There's places Spencer and I can't even go and even together, especially if we have our third member of our gang, because when the 3 of us get together, the energy is so explosive
Yeah.
that we get kicked out.
Nice.
We get kicked out. There was a Thanksgiving.
Oh my God.
A couple years ago, we went to our third member's Aiden's old roommate's house with some family and friends of his old roommate, and we were laughing, having a good time, and it was just like, we didn't know Aiden's roommate was like this really funny guy, you know, cracking jokes, and we were laughing and laughing. And sometime after dinner, we were just hanging out in the kitchen, like laughing and playing a game or something. And this guy comes down from one of the other rooms that we never saw all night. And he comes down and he's like, all right, you guys got to go. It's late. And he says it's late. And my friend Chris says, oh, it's only 7:30. And like, I don't know, like it was just so funny how we were getting kicked out. We were getting kicked out on Thanksgiving for just laughing.
We're having a good time at
Maybe a little
7:30 on Thanksgiving.
Just for clarification, ladies and gentlemen, Spencer is only half an Eskimo brother.
Half an Eskimo.
He's only half Eskimo brother.
Oh.
Does that mean you guys Eskimo kiss?
No.
No, it means that we both have had some relations with a previous partner.
Yeah. That's the best.
But only of the oral kind.
I was never dating her.
I was. That's why he's only half an Eskimo brother, and I went all the way.
You were just so.
I deep dove.
He was
into
just so
that
keen.
nightmare.
I was helping someone in question with her vegan food truck, and we were getting ready for a trip. And I was over at her house helping her cut some fruit, and then we like did some hape together outside. And
Oh man.
What's hape? What's
I love
hape?
hape.
I do have some hape.
Oh man, I
it's-
gotta get some of that.
It's a sacred tobacco snuff that you
Yeah.
blow up your nose with a bamboo pipe.
And you do this? Is this to reward?
Felipe.
Is this to reward yourself or to
Man,
punish yourself?
I've blown so much of that up my nose, and I thought my nose was gonna fall off.
Okay,
Yeah.
Bo, this same thing happened to me.
I loved hopping.
I love it too. I love it too much. And I feel like reality slaps back. If you like touch reality, it slaps back. So if I do some hape a lot, then I end up experiencing like 10 times worse of that whether it's like my nose gets congested, you know, some kind of like weird symptom or something. It's like, that's what happens, Chris. You want to abuse this? This is going to abuse you.
Yes, it does. You're
Man, I'll
totally-
say this on the note of hoppe. I think the best of my life was at Soma Springs.
Ooh,
Where was Springs?
Hooper Hot Springs.
Hooper. Yeah.
So we had an event called Soma Springs where we had DJs at Hooper Hot Springs.
Right.
So this is like 12 hours of soaking in hot water, gorgeous bodies, all the refreshments that you could possibly imagine,
Okay.
and some of the dopest bass drops that I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harry played there.
I wanted to go to that, but then I just found out I didn't feel like driving all the way there for an event.
Hell, I became homeless that night.
Happily homeless.
Happily homeless. And then I almost got murdered the next week.
I mean, that's what it's like out here.
No, I wasn't out there. That was Longmont. That was another story.
Wait, you almost got murdered in Longmont?
Yes.
I almost got murdered in Longmont.
Really?
Yeah, but you tell me yours.
I almost got run over by a Ford Maverick from my ex-roommates.
Whoa.
Yeah, they're just psycho. Long story.
A vehicle like
Yeah, a Ford truck.
Oh.
They eventually got the karma that was coming to them, thank God. But still, how'd you almost get murdered in Longmont?
It always slaps back. Okay, so basically I let a very large gentleman spend the night in that I did not know. Okay, first I want to preface this by saying, like, I learned a lot from this. Okay, I'm a completely new, different person. I'm not like this anymore. But at the time, this is what I was like. This guy needed a place to stay, and I was so generous and trusting that I was like, sure, you can stay at my place tonight. Like, I just met this guy. He's huge man. I have no idea like what his history is, what he's done, you know. And so he comes in, and then he's like, yo, when I drink, don't let me be alone. Like, he's like, he's got this huge bottle.
Oh, no.
He's got this huge bottle of tequila, and he's drinking it. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, sure, man. And then like, dude, I get tired, dude. Like, he's watching like Godzilla versus King Kong, and I'm like so tired, and I'm just like, all right, man, I'm just gonna go lay. I'm gonna go lay in the other room. Like, yeah. And I was like, are you good? And he's like, yeah, I'm good. And so I'm just like laying there, and then I hear my car start. And I get up and look out the window, and he's driving off. And
Wow.
He's driving.
There you go.
So what happened to your car?
So my car's gone, and I call the cops, and I'm like, yo, like, this guy just stole my car. Like, can you guys help out? And so they're like tracking him, and then all of a sudden I look out the window, and he's coming back with my car.
Oh, wow.
And he parks it like in my parking spot. And then all of a sudden I hear him get out. He's running because the cops are chasing him.
Wow, that's awesome.
And like, I feel him like coming like towards my door. And so I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm about to get murdered. This guy is going to open my door and just
don't,
like,
because you left him
because I
alone.
ratted, because I told him, I lied to his ass. I told him I wouldn't leave him alone, and I left him alone.
Yeah, you left.
Oh,
Way
yeah.
to go, Chris.
I mean, I had to do it. And then all of a sudden, I hear the worst screaming noise I've ever heard in my life. He jumped off the balcony from 2 stories
Wow.
and like broke his legs.
Oh.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I love this
Blood-curdling
story.
screams. And I was just like, bro, I'm so sorry. And then he texts me and he's like, bro, all I wanted to do was go get a soda. And I was like, bro, you gotta let me know,
it's
bro.
your fault. Your fault. He broke his legs because you left him alone.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a pretty good one actually. I'll share real quick. This one is, and that's kind of what we do. We tell these wild stories. So
Tall tales.
this is a great one. So I was a wanderer nomad for a while back in, I think it was early 2015, 16. I had a van and I had a successful business in St. George, Utah. And so I was trying to get back down there to reclaim what I'd done years before successfully. So I decided to go to this small town in Overton, Nevada. Now, this is a vortex. It's right outside of the Valley of Fire, which is Las Vegas, and then there's a spooky Native American land. And so I have several stories. Hopefully we'll have like 3 podcasts on just these experiences in Overton. But it was a town where the pool hall never came. There was no, it was like Mormonville. Like we don't want any sexuality, nothing. And I'd met this guy there, and I kind of admired him and befriended him. He lived in a trailer. I was in an RV. My uncle had some property up on the land, so I had this noble reason to be there. And I really thought this guy was really cool. He just seemed really, he says, yeah, I'm an ex-convict. And he started telling me all these stories about him in jail, getting raped and riots, and it just really fascinating. And I just really gravitated towards him. So I got this job doing concrete coatings in St. George, Utah. And I said, hey, man, can you come and help me? He's like, yeah, sure. He's like, oh, yeah, Beau, you put the little cap on and you go out and you just act like you're a businessman. So I landed this job, and I was really good at knocking doors and just landing jobs. He helps me, and there might have been some drugs that we were doing before we got there. But towards the end of the job, we started getting tired. And I says, dude, we got to get back to Overton. It's about an hour and a half drive. On the way back, this van I have starts breaking down.
Oh.
And I'm like, shit, we're breaking down. So I pull off the side of the road, and he's like, I'm a mechanic, engineer. And we start pulling it all apart. And it's just like, we're basically tweaking on this motor, and I'm kind of thinking, man, I'm tired. I worked all day. I need to get home. We need to rest, but we can't get the van fixed. Soon it becomes, we don't got any water. We don't got nothing. So then it was kind of like, hey, help on the road. Like, hey, help. All of a sudden, nobody's pulling over to help. And now I'm like thinking, okay, now it's really help. Cars just, and I'm like, and so this guy, he's like a mime. He goes out in the ditch and finds a chain, and puts this chain over him because it's like, please come and tow us with this chain, right? Oh. And he's like, hey, we need help right here, like a mime, like, hey, over here. And nothing. And pretty soon this big truck,
H-E-L-P.
yeah, this big truck driver pulls over, and he's like, he opens the door and is like, all this vortex, hey man, how's it going? You need a smoke? I was like, wow, this is a magic. He gives me a smoke, and then he shuts the door, and all of a sudden I turn around and 4 or 5 cops show up. I'm like, sweet, the cops, we need water, like we need help, like. And so I come running up like, fucking finally, someone's pulled over. And I'm like, hey. He's like, get to the side of the road and sit down. And I'm like, oh, great. So I go and sit down, and then the other cop, all of a sudden, 10 cops show up, more cops and more cops. I'm like, holy cow. And he comes up and he's all, we just got a call that some crazy guy was on top of the roof of the van swinging a chain around. And I'm like, yeah, our car is broke. We've been broke down for 3 hours. Just sit down. And then the cop goes and looks up this guy I'm with, his record. And his record is 2 pages long.
No.
2 pages long of felon assault. Assaulting.
That's a bad mime, right?
Yeah, assaulting police officers, and
Evil
so
mime.
all of a sudden, yeah, evil mime. Yeah, and then I look, and we're on the grass, and the cops line up in front of us, and I'm thinking, I'm a dead man. And I look over at him, and his whole mental brain collapsed, and he looks like a reptilian. Back. And I'm thinking, he's going to lose it and bite this guy's face off. And then immediately I thought, I'm going to die. And then I thought, I'm going to run up over this bankman and run for my life, and they're just going to kill me. And I thought for sure it was going to happen any minute. I could tell he was about to attack the police officer, and they're all got their guns drawn. And I'm thinking, I'm in a shooting squad, and I'm going to go down in the blazes of glory here with this guy.
You're gonna need
Finally-
a bullet time.
Finally, I come to my senses and I'm like, can I get a taxi cab? He's like, sure, get a taxi cab. So every dollar in my pocket, I was like, I need a taxi cab now. So finally, the taxi cab shows up, picks us up, and we get in the car. He comes to and starts realizing, he's like, yeah, I was about ready to just bite that guy and jump on him. He says, and then I was going to run up over the bankment, and if you didn't follow, you're probably going to get killed.
Oh.
And we later found out that day in Las Vegas, they got a call. All the cops pulled over in a crazy man, and they shot him.
Wow.
To death. So we were just 2 hours call after, because I couldn't understand why the cops were like, get down on the ground now. We're gonna, it was death knocking it.
So the cops just.
Yeah, well, they didn't want to, but since I came to my senses and was
Yeah.
like, can we get a taxi? Because we couldn't get out of there. They're like, we're not giving you a ride. We're not doing that. They were waiting for him to do something so they could do the execution on it.
Right.
They were ready for it because they just did one earlier. And so they were ready to do the execution. So, yeah, that's my horror story.
Glad you
Almost-
got out of there. Okay.
Yeah, and I had several others in that small town with him. Yeah, he was, he said he took 50 hits of acid
Oh my God.
and never returned back from it. And so he was always,
Where'd he go?
yeah, it was a profound experience, actually. And there was one where he tried to rob me in the trailer. He was like, wanted my van. And it was like, when you get to that point where you disagree with someone, it's like, no, you're not going to get my van. And then where are we?
Bottom line.
Oh, that's not going to happen. Where do we go? Where do we go next on this adventure?
Out of my cold, dead hands.
And then he jumps up with his knife and sticks it right below my eye and starts pressing. And he's just pressing there. And actually, in reality, I didn't get scared. I was just like, you mother, you better get that knife out of my face right now. And he was just holding it. Finally, I was like, yeah, sure, I'll give you the vehicle. And he puts his knife down. And behind him was the trailer door. So I just did a incredible hole. And I hit him right up under the rib cage. So what he naturally did was fall back. And so the more he fell back, the higher I went. So it busted the door off the hinges. We flew out in the air. He just keeps going higher. I'm losing control. And then all of a sudden he comes back down on his back. And then I do the classic MMA, like get in there to start pounding. And then I realized the cops are going to come, and I just took off screaming. At the end of the day, this is what this taught me with this guy. And he came up and he taught me this valuable thing. He came up and he's a brother. He's a dear brother. And he goes, Beau, I love you. He said, fuck off, but I love you. And I think that taught me that's the thing you say. It's F off, I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I love you, but F off. That's what he said.
That's what you say to authority. I feel like one thing we're having to do as these hyper-local communities is to decentralize from these like centralized authorities, because they make a lot of bogus rules that they don't even know what's going on, boots on the ground in the actual area itself. And so we shouldn't be like taking their advice or listening to them or being bullied by them, because we know as a hyper-local community what's best for us.
Well, right. And just the other day, I got pulled over in Saguache County. I was sitting in the middle of the road, and this truck came up and he's honk, and I was like, oh shit. And so I turned right, and then the lights came on.
Wait, why were you sitting in the middle of the road?
That is my own private business. No, I was sitting like, yeah, it was not good. That was my lesson of the story. So pull over and get on your phone. Get over. Don't look at porn while you're in the middle of the road. No, it was not porn. I'm kidding, but not really. No, I was checking on a text. But anyways, the guy
Hey, when inspiration
I was, I was coming out of the bank and was counting me money and doing a transaction. I pull over. All of a sudden, he throws his lights on. Dude, this cop, he's like, I saw him in my rear mirror. Books it, does the classic going for his gun. This is weird. I guess it's Rambo First Blood. And so he's like grabbing the gun. He's like, hands out of the window. Hands out of the window. And I kind of didn't at first. I kind of thought about that at first because I was like thinking, he's nuts. I'm not going to stick my hands out. And finally I was like, okay, I got no guns. And he comes up and he's just like, license and registration. You're an idiot. You're sitting in the middle of the road.
You're like, you think I don't know that?
And then he just comes back. He's like, listen, I might go to court and I might be wrong sometimes on some of my behaviors. However, when I tell you to stick your hands out of the car, you do it. And then I looked at his eyes. One of his eyes is completely like, it's like a reptilian eye, but then he had a good eye. So I looked into the good eye. This is a trick if all you out there, if you're ever pulled over by a high-level narcissist, reptilian cop, it's scary as fuck. But what you need to do, look at their eyes. If you see one of their eyes that's actually got a little bit of light in them, that's the true essence of who they are, look into that particular eye. And then you'll be able to have some humanity in the conversation. And I was able to get out of it once again. And so, yeah.
Beau's on the front lines of like the galactic sort of spiritual warfare that's going on right now. And I feel like one of the gifts, that you're giving us, Beau, is like, you know that you are disclosure. Like we were talking about disclosure, right? Like it seems like there's this unfolding of disclosure right now where we're learning more and more that maybe we are, an aspect of a galactic, heritage, a galactic family. And maybe there's like a homecoming kind of event going on right now that we could also refer to as disclosure. And a lot of people think disclosure is out there of like, oh, the authority is going to like let me know about, what's really going on. What if you are disclosure? We are disclosure. Beau knows that he is disclosure.
Yeah. Once you go down the rabbit hole of discovering who you are, I follow the teachings of Jesus Christ, the real one, not the one in the false light Christianity church. But he taught that we all have a story. And if you can connect your dots of your ancestors and your personal story, you can come to the ending of that story. And I truly believe that you have and so with my own story, it's been pretty profound. It's amazing how we underestimate who we are and our energy. And so I discovered my own personal soul. And when you discover your soul, it's so much different than my brain. Beau likes it. He doesn't like it. It's not in that realm. So you have a spirit and you have a soul that oversees you. And this soul is very powerful. And as a chosen one, I just really, and just tapping into that well of energy.
What does that mean, chosen one? You feel like you were chosen and somebody else wasn't?
I didn't mean to say that, actually.
Well, I think chosen one meaning like God kind of gives his like chosen people like they're kind of the strongest missions, like the harder missions.
But you're still saying that you believe there is like a chosen people. My question is like, what does that mean that there's a chosen people? Does that mean other people are not chosen?
There's people that haven't been chosen to wake up. No.
Do you all even know what is going to happen in this valley?
Yes.
We have our assumptions.
This valley is where it is prophesied that the world will end.
Right.
It will end with the return of the blue star Kachina appearing on top of Blanca Peak. And what is going to precede that is 2 days before, two people known as the Paasatuungwa, a masculine by the name of Sunfire and a feminine by the name of Moonwater, are going to create a double spiral. They paint with tools that use sunfire in their hands, and when they move together, they will be moving in the 6th direction, but the 7th is within them, And within 6 dawns, the blue star Kachina will appear, and their light will be the light of the new world.
Wow, that sounds like my twin flame journey.
Bro, that sounds like a good day.
Yeah.
But that's what's spoken about in the lore of the San Luis Valley, is that is
Yeah,
what is
you're
supposed to
right.
happen at the sand
I'm
dunes.
waiting. So
Yeah.
And so they talk about the light speakers, the Paasa Tuungwa, and it's very interesting tying that into my artwork, especially with my interactions and things that have happened here. You know, it's like, what is painting with sunfire in your hands? You know, like I use high-powered, high-lumen LEDs. I use fire. I use this stuff to create designs out here, and I have. And pretty much every single time that I have, there has been very unusual phenomena that's followed, whether it be a 25-foot bipedal creature or craft or voices. You know, like I have had numerous things here. And so I think that there is a larger narrative that is beginning to unfold here. And it is no coincidence that we are all here right now.
Yeah, and I think this is what this podcast is, why it's so important, is to talk about the people that have gone before, the prophecies, Hannah Strong and all the temples, and why we're here and our role in this area. It's fascinating. So we all want you to come on Schneblyville Pirate Radio and listen to these fascinating, wild stories, all the good, bad, and the ugly, because yeah, I think all roads lead here.
yeah,
If you have any friends, like share, any of these episodes with them, please. I mean,
Yeah.
we just want more people to be able to appreciate, exactly, what we're doing here, which, I think is interesting too with the prophecies is you have people on YouTube who will just say like September 23rd, 2025, like the rapture is like going to happen. And then like nothing happens.
Right.
And so, but just because nothing ever happens, it doesn't mean like what TJ just like poetically expressed there can't come to pass. Like that could still appear, and it's not like anything necessarily happened, but everything is happening.
Everything.
I mean, life is like a hallucination. It's like what's really real and what's not.
Physics shows that. That's what we've discussed.
Yeah.
We're having a dream right now. Like someone's dreaming of this right now.
I mean, maybe no one's even dreaming of it though. It's just like nobody is just dreaming.
Maybe maybe each of us are dreaming in our own dreams. And this is just where the dreams meet.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well said. That's it. We're
The meeting of the dream.
This is like the central hub. My little world's over here, your little world's over there. It's like you got weird shit going on, with all your little situations.
Your dream is fucked up, man.
Yeah, and I think of building a conscious communities, and I formed ACC, Ancestral Conscious Communities. And one of the most difficult things I've found with this is this idea that we all have different belief systems or had our own spiritual experiences or awakenings or metaphysical experiences. And how do we come together and just be in the frequency of love and build a community of awareness and yet maybe... I tend to think that we can all agree.
But we can't. I feel like life actually shows that we can't all agree more than it shows that we
Yeah,
can all agree.
but I want to base these principles on universal laws that we all have to agree upon.
Well, that's like
And
Stoicism is, like Stoicism is all about, what ultimately should govern man or universal laws.
Right.
And when we are out of balance with that, that's when society itself has inequality and balance. And really, it's just like being kind to each other, but also being able to listen and be able to be corrected when we are in the wrong.
Totally.
It's like, show me something, teach me something. That's what needs to happen. Not everyone is going to be on that wavelength at the exact same time, though. That's the thing. That's the challenging thing with not only building a community, but building a business, is finding the people that are already running with you versus the ones that you're having like, hey, let's get you off the training wheels now.
Yes.
Like, come on, So it's like you really have to kind of go through things with fluidity. And I find, at least with my life right now, just being open to the present moment and flow. It's like I consider myself self-governing, like any of these people in the news. This is what I say about people in the news. I don't care about the people in the news because they're not one of me and yous.
That's right.
Oh.
I don't care about any of them.
And that's another big thing of Schneblyville that you're touching upon is this idea of sovereignty.
Yeah.
And true freedom. And that's what we're creating out here is like, I feel like my whole life when I sit there, my biggest value is freedom, my own personal sovereign freedom to express myself and just to be free. I've been working my whole life. And so, yeah, out here in the Matrix, you're eating out of in Zion, I guess you could say. You're in, no heater, eating out of a can. It's kind of crappy sometimes. Speak for yourself. But I'm it's training ground. I get it. I'm okay with it. I'm in a training ground. Not everybody can do what I can do, and I love it. And so I just want to be a way shower to people like, hey, we can be over here in ancestral conscious communities that's out of the public eye and it's private, and we can do the private stuff. And hopefully we create an environment that's non-judgmental, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's really ultimately like, so we can, no judgments here. We're just all, Burning Man, I guess it's kind of, they try to capture that essence of this is a non-judgmental zone. And so it's a little bit of that, actually.
Well, we're going to make good judgments from having experience, like we've had a lot of experience, and so we can like make good judgments, and we're only going to have people in this community that are also in a sovereign mode, because that's what makes a community actually work. Like if you have people that are constantly trying to suck off the teat of the community and like have a lot of neediness and codependence still in their system, it's not going to work. It's just going to like be a lot of drama, more drama cycles. So we want beings that like, are able to stand on their own 2 feet.
That's
they're
right.
resilient.
Resiliency.
Yeah.
Being stoic.
Stoic in a sense, and the resilient.
You have to like endure and stuff and like not complain.
Yeah.
It's
Accepting life as
it's
is.
society. It's based on, it's earned, not given.
Yeah.
Right? You've earned the right in your business to be a photographer. You know what you're doing. And so he's earned that position. And I think that's really important. It might intimidate us like, oh no, I've not earned. But I think, once we understand that we can like bridge that gap between how I feel and how you are, and then so self-reliance and then family, right? We want, I grew up Mormon, and there was always an elder or there was cultivating a village that was supporting. It was nice. It really was. So we do want Schneblyville to have like that elder. We have General B, Brian.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Spencer's sleeping. Spencer's sleeping and
not
dreaming
boring
all the-
you, Spencer. No. So, anyways, family's important. Brothers and sisters, elders. It's critical to raise a village. So with some midgets and maybe some carnival folk.
We're gonna have lucha libre kind of wrestling matches out
Dude.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have I told you my idea for the Crestone Wrestling League?
Oh yeah.
The Crestone World Championship Wrestling Federation?
Yeah.
So
that
get
sounds
this.
cool.
You know who I want to make as my first world heavyweight champion, since this is all scripted?
Who?
I feel like it's got to be someone that's a true full-blown like villain, right? That's universally like
I am.
makes both adults cringe and children just scream in terror. And I feel like I know the perfect candidate. We're going to make Cat Eater Brandon into the first ever Crestone World Championship Wrestling Federation.
I love that.
World Heavyweight Champion.
Worldly.
And we're going to have him in a barbed wire baseball match.
2 men enter, 1 man.
Take on the last great American cowboy, Mr. Wesley Dean Johnson there, y'all.
Johnson, all right.
For the title. We're going to have Cat Eater Brandon lose, right?
Okay.
And this is where we're going to monetize this, okay?
I'm listening.
So he's a bad guy,
Wait a minute. Yeah.
he's a bad guy, right? Because, he ate a cat.
I mean, does that make you bad?
why-
Does that really make you bad? Is it so bad
Well, I
to be a cat?
Well, here's the thing.
It was
brother.
my cat. Just
Here's the thing, brother. Whether it makes you bad, whether it makes you bad or not, after you eat a cat, you just ain't going back after that one.
oh, man.
Nobody eats just
I
one
want to
cat.
be the MC at this thing.
And so it's like he's gonna go through this whole beautiful redemption, right? Where he starts gradually becoming like a nice guy, a good guy, and he makes his redemption with the cats, right? And this is where we start monetizing this.
Yeah.
We're gonna make a Cat Eater Brandon T-shirt where he's gonna be all cartoon looking. He's gonna have a big smile on his face, right? And he's gonna be biting a cat on the back of the neck. But here's the cool thing, because he's a good guy now.
Yeah.
The cat's gonna be a cartoon cat and smiling too, while he's got it on the back of the neck.
All right. What's
And here's the thing that the T-shirt is going to say. It's going to say, Cat Eater Brandon, did you eat your pussy today?
That's great. I like it.
And we're going to make millions off of it.
Oh yeah, we're
That's
gonna have
genius.
and if they'll-
If WWE can do it, then so can we.
That's right. And we're going to have a lot of different venues out here. My business partner and I came up with a number of different venues. Tron Frisbee at night, Frisbee. We can have, there's a race car track down the road. It's old Dukes and Hazzard race car track. So we could actually, in the middle of the track, have that go down so these kind of like, it's kind of like bringing the old school way of life in the 80s with like new things. Yeah. Anyhow, yes, we're glad to be here. And, but the idea is these venues can host these events and they're really extraordinary, like Ultimate Frisbee, but it's called Tron Frisbee. It's at night. We got the girls spinning the lights, right?
So it's like the Tron discs from the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you kind of look like the guy on that movie, the new one that just came out. What's his name?
Jared Leto?
Jared.
I look like Jared Leto? Well,
Yes,
thank
this
you.
guy looks like Jared Leto. He's an archetype of his.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that movie, I went and saw that. I loved it, actually. I love the Tron series. Anyways, I went to the Ultimate Frisbee over the weekend for the 4th of July, and I was able to talk to some like shake and bakers in the Ultimate Frisbee, and I said, hey, what do you think if we did a Tron night Frisbee venue in the San Luis Valley? He was like, heck yeah, let's do it. So are we going to have a snowball fight?
I don't know. We could just eat some snow, like put some like coconut water on it, have like a coconut slushy.
The snowberries taste like snowberries.
Oh, I need an orange. Zokchin.
You know, the smell of coffee, it's like really enticing. It smells good, but I don't want to drink it because of the caffeine. And I'm just like too sensitive to have caffeine. And I will regret it later. So I'll crash from it. My energy will be like zooted and I'll feel tired the next day unless I get more coffee or something. It just kind of perpetuates this caffeine dependency after like one drink,
Yeah, I'm actually better than you because I'm what's called a smellitarian, which is all I do. I don't eat things, I don't drink things. All I do is smell things, and I just sustain myself on that.
You can't be serious.
He's the only one going to heaven too. So
Dude, they were telling me that
Where
You
is heaven?
that I couldn't.
on earth.
They said that I couldn't even talk.
Hoorah.
Can I? I can't even talk on my own podcast. Okay, so they were telling me that I can't.
My podcast, bitch.
In communist Russia, this is our podcast. So they were saying that I couldn't even smell. Like I couldn't even smell what's true. They're like, Chris, you can't even smell what's true.
Is he trying to say you can't smell what the rock is?
Suck it.
All right, this is getting out of hand.
All right, so
Let's put it back. Let's put it back in my hand.
hold on to this.
Are you eating a snowball right now? Like, when the hell did this happen?
Where were we?
Is Spencer your guest for today, or
Yeah, I'm visiting from another planet.
Okay, star origins. Where is your star origin?
This is the disclosure section. We're done. We are officially done with the comedy portion of the podcast. We're now moving on.
I don't know. It was getting kind of good there.
No, we're sorry. It's over. We're now going on.
Jared Leto over here. He was getting some good ones. He was getting me going.
Oh, yeah. You guys are going to have motorbikes out on the desert?
Yeah, dude. That'd be
Tron bikes out in the desert. Let's go.
I think
Yeah,
Jared Leto had a little bit darker hair.
I feel like
man.
yeah, I think Jared Leto looks a little bit different. Yeah.
Well, it's like I get more reds in my beard.
Yeah.
You know. It's like Jared Leto just has like straight black
Well,
hair, but I'm
it's
pretty
kind of-
sure he probably died too.
But I kind of categorize different people as archetypes.
Right. What's the archetypal energy of Jared Leto? Like it's like he's like he's a simulation. He's a program. Jared Leto is a program who's trying to like feel human. You know? 'Cause
That's
he's-
why all his movies bomb.
Is that how?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you relate?
No, I cannot say I'm an access, but I mean, hell, I'm at least halfway decent photographer, so there you go.
and modest.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm actually from Planet X. I don't know the name of the
You
planet.
from the Bureau?
But on my planet, there's no like fighting and like stupid shit. It's just,
He's
my
a
God.
he's a Patrick Swayze archetype.
have
I can tell
great-
already.
Thing that happened recently. So I was setting up my art outside of Cervantes recently, which is where I usually do my photo booth on Thursdays for their shift shows.
okay.
And I was unpacking my Honda, and there's this homeless guy that comes up to me. He's like, "Hey," and I was halfway expecting him to ask me for money. Instead, he's like, "Hey, do you happen to have any weed on you?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, brother, I do." He was like, so I'm just like unpacking my stuff, and I'm gonna smoke a joint this homeless guy. And I was like, "What's your name, man?" And he's like, "Well, first of all, I'm gonna say that I'm not what you would consider to be from this planet." You're like, "This is gonna be great." And he's like, "My Earth name is Ethaniel, but my real name is," and he does like this kung fu move. Where he's like, "My real name is Shadowlight."
Oh no.
So like, I'm like,
I
"What's up,
love-
Shadowlight?" You know, like it was kind of a cool little synergy because I was about to go inside the venue and play with some shadows and some light and stuff. And so we start chatting or whatever. He's like, "Yeah, from my home planet, we have this plant as well, and the thing that makes me so sad is what he was saying. He was starting to talk normal. He was like, "What makes me so sad is none of you know what it is like to live on a peaceful planet."
Oh gosh.
That's what he said.
That's
And he
what-
said, "And it breaks my heart for you."
Well, you can't have
Dude.
everything peaceful, but you can create your own peace where you are and have it. Try to have it as most and that's most peace as you can in your life.
But what he's saying, like, I was like, "Damn, brother, like that's that's true there."
I mean-
that was really.
I mean, that guy
beautiful.
knew where he was from.
He did.
I mean,
That was really, honestly,
Awesome.
it was both a funny encounter, but it was also like very just like, wow, that was synchronized. That was meant to happen, and then his name being Shadowlight with what I do too is like, I don't know. There is something to dealing with high level photons and frequencies that draw certain energies around one.
It's a really cool name because we were just talking on the last podcast about dark light, which is kind of like, we could say, sounds very similar to shadow.
What were you saying about dark light?
That's all there is like this like light that you can't you can kind of sense that it's radiant or that it's light.
Are you talking about dark matter, dark energy?
yeah, that's what I was.
I'm talking about everything, man. I'm talking about whatever this is. Like I don't know what this is. Like we want to always try to contextualize it, but maybe it's not contextualizable. And
Well,
so
darkness is where there's no absence of light,
Right.
right? So when light comes into a room, it's no longer dark. So, Darth Vader is a real dark place, right? And if we want to go to Darth Vaderville, and I've been to very dark places in my life, and I'm coming out of those places, And, no judgment on it for sure, but it's definitely like, oh, I'm going towards the light.
But what I'm
But
saying is,
I
like,
don't know if that spawns
the mind automatically associates dark with evil or bad or something like that.
And that's
But
not
that's
true.
not what
Yeah,
I'm saying. That's not what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
we're talking
Yeah.
about like actual physics darkness.
Like actual, like unfindable darkness. You
Well,
can't
here's the
find,
thing.
You can't pin it down. You can't find it.
Here's the thing is like we haven't officially been, able to molecularize dark matter or dark energy. Because here's the thing, dark matter is what exists within an atmosphere. Dark energy is basically space. That is 68% of the
Right.
universe there. Light does not interact with it, but dark matter does seem to have a density in a way that interacts with mass in order to create gravity. So it basically is kind of the cement glue that holds space-time together. And with light, what that is basically space-time itself reaching its limits. So initially when the universe began, it was all pretty much a singularity where all of the matter and material and everything was together in about the size of a marble. And then
Right.
you had
created.
certain forces happen where the universe began expanding. I believe with that expansion, that was caused by light escaping whatever encasement that this was, because you had weak nuclear energy and you had strong nuclear energy beginning to separate. You had
And it
these
was like
fields.
geometry.
Yeah, you started having things expand outward. So I believe that with the expansion of the universe, in order to be able to measure it in itself, that's where you need dark matter to measure from point A to point B, even if it is the same object going from both.
Yeah, there you go.
Because from a distance from Earth, say 1,000 years from Earth, if someone's watching us, 1,000 light years, that is, it would be Earth 1,000 years ago, not where we are right today in this very moment. So, that's where you get the space-time continuum.
And so there you go, Chris. So you've got a very intelligent answer to that question. Now, do you
Can I-
accept that, what he just said?
Unacceptable. You'll be unacceptable.
No, I actually do.
No. I do.
And it's fine. And you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Anyways, you were.
I'm just saying, like, what you sparked is like, I want to share. If you guys are all cool with it, like, I want to share a quick story about like when I went faster than the speed of light.
Share it, brother.
Oh, there you go.
And it involved cannabis. I was on 20 milligrams of cannabis edibles.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Where'd you get them from?
Dude, Longmont, dude.
Was this before or after the guy jumped off your balcony?
He gave them to, he gave them to me.
What a cosmic connection, Chris.
Cosmic connection. I like it.
And like at the time I was like kind of into this kind of esoteric magic kind of stuff where like you actually set up a kind of sacred space and you like the space is so intentional that it can seem to kind of evoke these very intentional sort of transcendental modes. And the mode here was like that a rainbow portal opened up where
gosh, love
because
rainbow portals.
because I was somehow transcending the limits of light itself, a rainbow portal opens up. And then it's like I am the night sky, and I see like different stars here, there, and almost
the
like
Milky Way tonight.
It's in a book. It's reading rainbow.
yeah, exactly. And you could go to any of these stars because they were like their own dimension.
Yeah.
And so that's like infinity, like this infinite field that we're in is like it's all light. You can just kind of zip to different dimensions, and it's all like doing itself, like whatever it is, if it's anything, it's just like shining itself, it's just doing itself.
It's spreading out as far as it can, and light is always going at the speed of light. Like from its point of origin, honestly, it originates from electrons being excited to where their energy field rises or falls, and then the result from that is a photon is generated. It is immediately going at the speed of light.
Wow. And this reminds me of, I'm going to a Buddhist temple right now, Kempo Wangchuk, and Dzogchen practice is called rainbow body. So it sounds like you had a rainbow body experience, which is profound. That's enlightenment in rainbow body. I know there's a number of different cultures that believe in it. I've experienced form of it as well. So yeah, thanks for.
Well, this is like the rainbow mirage body. You know, it's like
Well, it sounds like you experienced quantum tunneling with your consciousness.
we could spin it. We could say that I experienced like potato, banana, chicken fart. You know,
Well,
like,
here's the reason I say that.
It's Schneblyville Pirate Radio. Hear them radio waves aglow. Yo ho, yo ho, yo ho, yo ho. It's Schneblyville Pirate Radio.
Spencer,
Yeah.
where are you?
I don't know. I like was just walking up to the upstairs and I was like transported somewhere else.
I hear your voice, but I don't see you anywhere. Where are you? I'm coming up. Spence? Can you hear me?
Yeah, TJ, where are you coming from?
Coming from downstairs. Why is it so cold up here?
I don't know. I'm not too sure about this house.
Are you not freezing?
No, I'm not too cold.
Oh my god! What was that? Spencer? Spencer? Oh my god. What the fuck? Where the fuck am I? How the fuck did I get here? Chris? Spencer?
yeah,
Chris, where are you?
I'm right here, TJ. I'm right here, TJ.
Why can't I see you? Are you there?
Yeah,
I'm waving my arms around like
this
why?
is starting to scare me, TJ. Why can't you see me?
I can't see you. Do you see Spencer? Have you heard Spencer? I heard him screaming.
I hear Spencer, but I can't. He seems like he's really scared, but he's right there, and I can't.
Spencer, what's going on?
Talk to us. Relax, Spencer. Let us know what's happening.
There's a 12-year-old little girl.
Ah!
Ah!
She said that she died 5 years ago on this day.
Ah!
What did she die from, Spencer?
She died because her mom strangled her. Her mom
What does she want? What does the little girl want?
She wants to terrify us forever.
No!
There's only one way we can stop it.
How?
She says we have to send her $1 million.
Oh, how are we gonna get $1 million?
Well, there is this contest.
I'm listening.
There's this contest down, like, next week in Crestone. And if you win, I hear you can win $1 million.
That's exactly how much we need.
We gotta enter the competition, boys. We gotta do this.
We gotta work on our act, eh?
Yeah.
I'll be the New Yorker that likes cheese pizza. Hey guys, it's Tony. I'm walking here.
You know, I'm gonna be the sleazy Long Islander that likes calzones.
And yeah, and then you can be the Italian who likes spaghetti.
Yeah, he's totally spaghetti.
All right, boys, let's get on it. Cut.
Yeah.